Guys tell that I'm trying to be gentle here. Just calm. I need to have like, you know what, like on the third section, I should like come in and you're gonna come in, there's gonna be like ocean music. Like waves playing in the background and I'll be like, no, I'm not a calm person. Well, I am a calm person, but I don't appear to be so. So we've got sine squared theta, and you said, Emma, that we were gonna plug this into here, right? Katie, did you raise your hand? No? Did somebody else? Kyle, you did? Do you have to what?
Since we already have tangent and cosine, can we just do x over y and put it that way?
Well, you could take, so tangent, if you wanted to go from tangent, you could say, if I take tangent and I divide by, okay. So, all right, if this is already too complex for you guys, just turn off your ears for one moment while I talk to Kyle, okay? And if you're interested, then great. What?
Just do it after.
No, I'm gonna do it now. So, if you have tangent of theta equals sine over cosine, right? Okay, and so since we know what cosine is and we know what tangent is, you could plug in the thing for tangent here, and you could plug in the thing for cosine here, and then simplify to get to sine. That would work. But you can't consider it with just x's and y's, because sometimes they're simplified or reduced, and that's how that got there, and isn't originally what the x's and y's are.
So you just multiply, you said that cosine.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. So we got sine squared theta plus, what happens if I square all these things, Emma? What's negative 3 squared? This is 9 times 34 over 34 squared. Actually, let's just leave it as 34 squared because we can reduce this pretty easily then. Do you see how I could take a 34 out of the top and the bottom pretty easy? So I'm going to take a 34 out of here. I'm going to take that square out down there. And now I've got sine squared theta plus 9 over 34 equals 9 over 34, or sorry, 1. Yeah, 34 over 34. Can you guys see what we're going to do next? Emma, keep going. Okay, so now I've got sine squared theta equals 25 over 34. And now what? Square root, square root. Sine of theta equals plus or minus. Mm-hmm. And then you have to do the rationalization? Yeah. While we're doing this, can we decide whether sine is positive or negative just right now? So in quadrant 2, is sine positive or negative? Positive because it's top half, right? Remember, cosine goes left and right. Sine is up and down. So this is sine of theta equals positive 5 square root of 34 over 34. Your homework, when you do your homework, you're going to have to do 5 of these. And by 5 of these, I mean you're only finding one thing. Okay, and we've already done 2. So it's going to take a little bit, but you can do it. Emma, go get a prize. All right, nice job, Emma. How are you guys feeling about this so far? Okay? Nice and slow. Kyle's amazing.
I think I also take this to copy
You're also gonna take what?
this to copy like this last part.
Yeah, go ahead. I thought you were saying you're making a photocopy, and I was like, what in the world are you talking about? Can I take this to photocopy? What?
Yeah, can I skip this?
Yeah. I can. All right, last one. Now we're actually gonna use the new stuff that we had. This time, for example 3, last one, I want you to tell me, I'm gonna write down the things that we have so far because I started a new sheet of paper, so I'm just gonna write it down. We know that tangent of theta was what? It was -5/3, correct? What else did we find? We found out that sine was what? Over 34? Didn't we find cosine? Which was? And we also found, what was it, secant, correct? Secant was? Okay, now, Kyle, I loved your idea, and I think you should use that, because that's one thing that is difficult to understand about this. And for some of you,
Makes way more sense.
What?
That way makes way more sense in terms of everything.
the point of this chapter is to come up with a plan and carry it out. As long as you do not get into the habit or think, because you're going to be wrong a lot, if you start being like, oh, well, sine is y divided by x, so the top number on the fraction is the y and the bottom number is the x, that's not true. It's just reduced after that, right? Like if you had, let's say that your y was 42 and your x was 2, that reduces what, to 21/1, which is not what it originally was. You know what I mean? So you can't beat that, but yes, there's lots of different ways you can do this. And I encourage you guys to explore different ways, which is probably going to be very frustrating for some people, looking at you, Jackson, because you want it to be one way, one answer, right? And there's going to be many different ways now. This is almost like creative writing for math. It's going to be, hey, but I tried it this way, I must be wrong. No, don't erase it. You're also right. You can have multiple ways to prove something. Okay? All right, last one we're doing is we're going to find out the cotangent of negative theta. Okay. Who is willing to go for this and come up with an idea on the spot and be brave and just try something? Just try something for a prize. Are you raising your hand, Michaela? Are you considering? All right, we got Kyle and Jackson. Anybody else? Come on, be brave. Take a chance. Thomas is willing? All right, Kyle, you're 1. Jackson is 2. Thomas is 3. 1. Kyle.
Oh, using those numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing,
These are the things we know so far.
alright, so we're trying to get cotangent, we need tangent, so, or, never mind.
There's a lot of different ways you can think about this problem.
I am.
You got an idea? Okay. But you're going for it. You do it.
I think that we flip tangent.
That is a great idea, guys, because look, do you remember how tangent is y over x and cotangent is x over y, right? So if we already have tangent, could you have instead figured out what cosecant is by flipping sine and then use this formula to do it?
Who would have done that?
Yes, you could have. No, but you could, and it would still be right. It'd be longer. And we all hate longer, right? But you could have done it. So what you're going to do is you're just going to flip tangent, right?
Yeah.
All right, so tell me. The cotangent of theta is what?
3 over 5, or negative.
Negative 3/5. But now the question is, what is the cotangent of negative theta?
Well, so since what we have right now, then we just gotta do minus cotangent of theta.
So, right, when I look at this sheet, now I'm going to my even odd identities, and I'm saying if I want the negative theta of it, then I have to put a negative in front of whatever it was before. So the cotangent of negative theta equals a negative 3/5,
Positive.
which is a positive 3/5.
So you leave the negative in?
No, I'm just showing my work. This was a negative theta equals positive 3/5.
I thought the negative got pulled off.
What negative?
Like, you know the negative 3/5 right there?
Yeah.
And when you wrote it down, we took the negative off and just put it in front instead of having it be 2.
Okay, so this formula, what this formula says, and these are kind of hard to understand just looking at them, right? What it says is if you're trying to find the cotangent of the opposite angle, you take whatever the cotangent of the original angle is and you just put a negative in front of it. And since it was already negative,